Hi, everyone. How's your Wednesday going? I'm hoping that we're going to have lots of interaction today because I have lots of news coming up. So I'm really excited about a lot of stuff that's going on. Um, Waiting, sorry, we've got, I don't know why it changed. So where I have to admit people from the waiting room. Still trying to figure out why that changed in Zoom. I love Zoom. It's the best. Said no one ever. Um, so uh, I have questions for you guys that I would love to hear your answers on. I would love to hear how everyone's showings, offers, all of that are going. I've had some multi-offer situations that I'm still hearing of. I know that there's been a lot of increase in sales. I have seen more inventory coming on, but I'm not seeing enough inventory to make like a huge impact, in my opinion, on basically everything that's going on. So I want to hear from you guys, find out what's going on with your showings. And also, I would love to hear from everyone what you have coming up as far as listings, buyer wants, all of that good stuff. I have a listing that's going live Friday that I'm super excited about. It is a down in Tacoma. It is 415. It is going to have pictures tomorrow, so I will share those on our page, and so that you guys can kind of get a little sneak peek at it. So that's one thing that I have coming up. There's also a buyer I have that's looking up to 2.5 million. Mercer Island, Lake Washington, Lake Sammamish, either stellar view or waterfront. And it can be a fixer up to 2.5. They're willing to go up to 4 million for move-in ready. So if anyone has something like that coming up, would love to hear. Also I've got a couple of buyers that are basically looking for unicorns. So if anyone has a really low cost large yard down in Pierce County, let me know. Definitely have buyers for that. What else? If anyone knows a really good auto detailer that's cheap and mobile and could get back to me by Thursday, like afternoon, so like Thursday morning, need one of those too. So that's my needs and wants list. What has everyone else got going on right now? Would love to hear from you guys.
Agents are not picking up their phones.
Who's not picking up their phone? Other brokers?
Listing agents.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's interesting right now is listings are either insanely hot. Like I have a friend of mine who just had 100 showings on his listing in, I think it was Spanaway or Tacoma. And so that's really tough to try and get through when you are getting 200 to 300 calls about a listing, and sometimes people are calling just to like, oh, great listing. They don't even have a client, they don't have any like valid questions. So I can understand on listings like that are just crazy hot how they're not able to get back to everyone. I get frazzled when I've got, like 15 of you guys calling me about questions, and I'm like, I'm trying to get back to you. So getting 100 calls, boom, 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 I get it. But at the same time, what I think they really need to look at utilizing is like a mass email or text. You can utilize showing time in order to get everyone's email address or their phone numbers and be able to send out, hey, highest and best by this time, or whatever they need to put on there so that they can my little +1 This is my carpool buddy.
Hello.
For those of you who don't have a way to drive in the carpool lane, this is the answer right here. Yeah, so that's why she's here today. I only have one with me at the office. All right, go sit down. But that's what I'm seeing is when they're just completely overwhelmed, rather than like dealing with it and trying to get through all the calls that they need to make. A lot of times they just basically shut down and don't respond to anybody, which really doesn't serve their client. And if they would just figure out how to do a mass text, that would be a better way to go about it. Nope. Sorry. Mom moment. Had to tell her to go away. So does anybody else have anything that is going on with their clients, their buyers, any listings coming up?
I have a couple of buyers, so we're working on some deals right now, trying to win an offer. And I noticed that it is much easier to negotiate the price and even the closing cost when you're working with a builder.
Yes.
So they're willing to pay the closing cost, because some of my buyers are asking me to share my commission to pay their closing cost. And I just say that I will negotiate this moment with the seller and keep my commission because this is my money.
So that is definitely something that I am seeing a lot, is where buyers are looking at the things such as Redfin or just different things where they're getting a rebate. I actually just had a conversation. If your lender would be the one that would limit whether or not you can contribute, Nexus, you guys, we don't limit what you're doing with your commission. If you guys want to rebate people, great. If you don't, great. I'm not going to, dictate that part of your business. That's for you guys to decide. That's why, you guys run basically your own businesses. The interesting thing is you have buyers who really expect that. Because in this market, it has been very difficult to get sellers to contribute anything. Mila has actually been really successful at getting sellers to negotiate and to contribute things. So congratulations on that. But it is interesting to see the number of Form 40s, because here's the thing, you guys, if you are contributing any of your commission, and I'm not saying you need to, Mila, at all, I just want to make sure that you are aware on the Form 40, you put the total commission, right? And then you put the portion you're keeping, and then you put the portion that is going to anywhere, whether it be a stager, whether it be a lender, whether it's towards the buyer. That is where you disclose it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to go off on that tangent, but that was the question that was just asked. So I wanted to make sure that we address that so that you guys are aware where that goes. And if you want to, I mean, even if it's a $250 credit. Nope. Yes, go over there. So that is something that I definitely want you guys to be aware of. And by saying that you're going to negotiate it with the seller, that kind of takes you off the hook and allows you to keep your income for yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if we provide the credit to the buyer, we're going to pay taxes only on the share that we get as our commission.
Yes, you only pay tax on what you get paid. You do not pay tax on anything else. Like, you don't have to worry about like somebody coming to you later and wanting to get the full commission, because if you don't receive that as income, you are not going to be taxed on that. Now, of course, as always, talk to your tax specialist for sure about that, because you never know when laws are going to change or when regulations change. And that's why when you guys ask me about tax questions, does anyone know what I always say? I say have your client check with a CPA. Even if I know the answer to the question, I will not answer it, because that would put me at liability for answering something that I have no business answering. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax attorney. So I always will say, check with a CPA or tax attorney. But if you look at the, IRS website, this is what it says. But again, you would have to have that interpreted by them. Just like if they have questions that are legal questions, we do not supply the legal answers for them. The contract states for all buyers and sellers, if you have concerns or questions, do what?
Consult your attorney.
Yay! That's right. So their attorney, because a lot of times I'll have people ask me, and I'm like, if they have those types of questions, you need to consult an attorney, because we are not attorneys. Well, okay, we do have a couple attorneys licensed here, but in general, we're not attorneys. So, it is what it is. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
All right. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was find out if you guys would be more interested in KV Core, because we still have a good number of people that are going to stay on KV Core, but we also have a number of people who are popping off KV Core after the free trial. So my question is, would you guys be more excited and interested in that if there were leads going into KV Core that were on a round robin that were included in your price? Anybody?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for responding. I love it when you guys are chatting. Yeah, that is something that I really want to emphasize on this. This isn't like a teacher instructional sales meeting. I want you guys to really participate and be vocal, talk, communicate. I don't want to be talking at you guys like an instruction. This is not a training class. It's really a chance for us to hear what's going on. I know that a lot of you guys have listings coming up, because when I look in the MLS, I can see the incomplete listings in there. So I know that there's stuff going on. I know a lot of you guys have buyers that have gone into contract. So I would love for you all to share, what's going on with the buyers, with the listings, all of that information. I think it's definitely important to share that as much as possible. So anybody have anything else with buyers or sellers?
Yes, I do. I got, we're under contract right now for one of the homes in Woodinville. It closes on the 8th, and then we have, once everything goes through on the 8th, we're going to be listing her current home. My client should be on the 10th or the following week, but we haven't really talked much about it. But yeah, we will be listing it in Bothell, Washington. So
do you have like an estimate? Because we can't talk exact prices, right? Or exact location until we are closer.
Yeah, till we're closer, because the market is all over the place right now, very volatile. So it's very hard with comps. Yeah, we have an estimate of around around 620 to
Nice.
list it at.
How many bedrooms?
It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it's 1,800 square foot.
Nice.
So
The house or townhome? Well,
it's a house, but they do have a, they have a little HOA for $35 just for the playground. But yeah, it is a house, and it's in the Canyon Park area. So
how the HOA there? Oh, sorry. What is the school ratings for this area? I have buyers who want
the
to buy.
school ratings is a 9.
So
it's a really good area.
Maybe we should arrange. I have buyers.
Oh, you do have a
and
buyer?
you guys can get closer on that he can tell you like all the details 24 hours before it goes active, but that is like a hard, fast rule. So that's why I'm
24 hours before it gets active. Yeah, we can, yeah, it should be
So
within the next
connect.
couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll connect.
Now you guys know, right? And that's the purpose of this, is so that you guys kind of have ideas and you can talk to your buyer and go, oh, there might be something coming. So you guys need to be ready to go look at it. This is about the date that it's going to go active. So we got to get out there first thing.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so
And-
that's what I'm working on right now. So see, hopefully it goes good.
Yes, hopefully. Absolutely. So does anybody else have anything exciting going on? Otherwise, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Northwest MLS guides. So I was going to share my screen, but does anybody else have any buyers or sellers or anything that they're working on that they want to talk about or that they have questions about? Not all at once, guys. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and log in, share my screen with you guys, and hold on. So for the Northwest MLS, sorry, I thought I was logged in, but I'm not. I wanted to go over the protocols that they have per county, because I definitely have a lot of people asking questions. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things on the MLS today. So the first thing is when you have, okay, honey, I'm leading the meeting. You can't talk to mommy right now. Sorry, she's 6. Okay, where are we? Safe Start Proclamation. So right here, you're going to be seeing the things that come up, the newest information. So right now, the counties that are the majority of our business, which is King, Pierce counties, right? We're all in phase 2. So the nice thing is you can have up to 5 people in addition to the broker, not including the broker anymore. So you can have a family of 5 plus yourself. So that's something that I really wanted to stress, because I had someone come up to me, I had a showing up in Seattle, and they, were going, oh, is this allowed? Because it was myself, another broker, them, and I think like 2 other people. And the fact that this is updated and is very clearly stated here, just be aware, guys, you can have 5 other people. Now, when you get to phase 3, which I'm hoping that someday we actually get to, so that we can start doing a lot of the more exciting activities for real estate, right? You can go ahead and you have 10 people then. They still are saying everything has to be by appointment only, face covering still have to be worn, and social distancing has to be followed. You can, at phase 3, have the open houses, but it's permitted with only strict social distancing, proper sanitation measures, no more than 10 people on site at a time. Now, the 10 people on site at a time includes the broker. So you cannot have 10 people plus yourself in the house. So that, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they're, regulating that, but definitely something to keep in mind for that, right? The other thing that I wanted to make sure that we were very clear on was when you are, like, door knocking right now is a super gray area that I'm going to say just don't do. I don't want to see us get in trouble with the Northwest MLS or anybody else at this point. I think that door knocking with a mask does fit within the guidelines, but they're saying that real estate activities have to be done by appointment only. So door knocking, you don't have an appointment. So that's the catch that I'm saying, sorry guys, can't really door knock yet. Can't do open houses yet either. So that is kind of the way it is for right now. the counties that, I don't know how many of you guys are doing work in other counties, such as Asotin, Columbia, Ferry, Garfield, Grace Harbor, Island County, Kittitas, Lewis, Lincoln, Mason, Pacific, Pend, Oriole, Skamania, Stevens, Thurston, I don't even know how to pronounce that, or Whitman. Those you actually can do an open house. So I am really excited to see how those will go. I had a listing in Thurston, but actually sold before it went on the market to the tenant in the property. So I'm not able to do and try an open house down there, but I'm very excited to hear how open houses are going, how people are reacting to the open houses, all of that good stuff, right? So I would love to, if anyone is going to do an open house or has done an open house in a permitted county, I would love to get some feedback and hear how those are going and what the pros are, what the cons are at this time. Phase 2, just so you know, that's where, you know, most of the business that I have seen, that's where we're all in phase 2. The 1.5, I haven't seen any business done through our company in those counties. So I'm not even going to go over the 1.5. I'm only going over the phase 2 and the phase 3. Also, one more thing I wanted to share with you guys. So when you are searching for a form, right, within the Northwest MLS, I get a lot of questions all the time. Oh, what addendum do I need to use? And you'll literally tell me the name of the addendum. And then all you needed to do was basically go in here into Express Forms, right? And you can search Express Forms. So let's say you need to do an extension of closing date. So you put extension in here, right? It will pull up all the extensions right here, right? So automatic extension of closing to accommodate Reg Z. Perfect, Form 22 Reg Z, right there. Modification of closing date, 22Y. It also has the forms manuals right there along with it. So you can not only pull up the form, you can pull up the forms manual right there that will explain it, right? Because I can tell you right now about 98% of the questions that I get asked about forms can be answered right in the Northwest MLS. Now, I'm happy to answer the phone and I'm happy to answer questions, but I also want you guys to learn where to look for things as well. So when people call me, I always am like, hey, this is where you go to find that information, because I'm not about just handing people fish. I really want to teach you guys how to fish so that when you guys are creating a team or training another broker, any of those things, you guys are self-sufficient. You guys know how to find this stuff, okay? So that's why I'm showing you guys this, and I keep going back to it because I really want you guys to have the opportunity to go, oh, okay, this is how I do it. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this right here. There is some intermittent issues that have been going on with the Northwest MLS. I saw it in red, so I wanted to take a look. So if anyone is having issues with that, definitely go report it or check here. So does anybody else have any listings, buyers, issues with anything, whether it be you're having issues logging into the MLS, you're having issues logging into KV Core, you're having issues sharing through HomeSnap, any of that information, let me know. Because I would love to chat about things that we can do to make your guys' life simpler and easier. Anyone? Well, if you guys don't have anything, then I'm going to talk a little bit about the new office setup. So I'm sitting at, it's basically the entrance. The door is right over here. You walk in and there's a workspace set up here. Then we also got a new conference table and chairs you can kind of see back there. I'm really excited because brokers can come in, work there. If you have clients that you're meeting, you can meet there. If I'm doing a training we actually can go ahead and have a training session right there at the conference table. So you're not stuck not being able to have a place to meet. Then, you know, the rest, it's been a little bit remodeled. So if you guys haven't been in the office in a while, it's a great time to come swing by, take a look. You guys never have to come to the office, just so you know. We are a virtual brokerage, so you guys are not ever required to come in. I do love the fact that we can have our sales meetings via Zoom, because that way everybody has the opportunity to attend, and you're not taking, you know, 4 to 6 hours out of your day to come and take a look at the sales meeting. So thank you guys once again for logging on and participating in the sales meeting. Does anybody have any questions before we call it this week?
Can I ask something?
Of course.
Hi, Lori. Well, I know it's probably a little bit premature and maybe early in the year, but you know, the holidays are coming. And I was wondering if you know any, you know, because you've been in the business for so long, any websites or something where they do like personalized gifts for the clients? Because, you know, like Thanksgiving is coming, Christmas is coming, you know, for doing like stop by their homes and giving them something, you know, maybe engraved or something for a good price, not super expensive. Do you know anything like that?
I have a ton of them.
Oh, okay.
There are, depending, I mean, I have like different ones for closing gifts, personalization, if you want food, there's all different ones. So what I would say is figure out kind of what you want to do. And I can, when I get to my home computer, I can pull up all of the vendor lists that I have for gifts. Because one of the things that I'm big on, like for Thanksgiving, is to do like a client pickup. Like come to the office, go buy. One of the things that I've done that really went over really well was I went to Costco and bought their pumpkin pie. First of all, I suck at baking. Totally telling on myself right now. I suck. I'm not good at it. So you go to Costco. The Costco pumpkin pies are like some of the best pumpkin pies out there. And they're literally less than $10 a pie. So let's say you buy 10 pies. That's 50 bucks. You then call your entire database and invite them to come pick up a pie. Now, let's say you have 15 people RSVP. You say, okay, great. I'm going to buy 15 pies. It's earmarked for you, but if you're not here by this time, then they're gone. You know, I'm going to share it with anybody. Then you got the chance to call your entire database. That's the whole reason for a client event, guys. It's not to post pictures and be like, oh, look, here's me and my clients having fun. No, you're calling them because then you're top of mind. You're not calling to sell them anything. You're calling to give them something, right? So that is like one of my favorite things is I like to do it like towards the beginning of like maybe like a week before Thanksgiving or in October. Do a client event. You know, if you were to do something towards the end of October, you could even give away pumpkin pies for Halloween and say, you know, come in costume and pick up your pie and post the pictures of the people that do it, right? So you want to share on social media when you're doing that, but you want to call your whole database.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because what I was thinking, not the closing gifts, because those I can figure out, but I was thinking specifically Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, so this is very good idea. Yeah.
So Christmas, I send out a card and I do it really early. Okay. Because then I call throughout the month of December and check in. Did you get my card? Anytime you do anything, follow up with a call.
Okay. Yeah.
Because again, then that puts you top of mind. And they'll, you know, a lot of times when you're doing like a client event, the clients will post about it. When you send out cards, sometimes I've been tagged by people that I literally didn't even remember I was Facebook friends with on Facebook. Oh, look, I just got my real estate broker's card. If you need to buy or sell, definitely call her. And I'm like, oh, hey, thanks. It's literally a less, I mean, you're going to spend on the whole Christmas card thing, you know, literally it's not going to be that much if you send it out to
Mhm.
all of your client list. It's really not. And I send it out, quite frankly, to my escrow. I send it and I call and check in with them. Hey, did you get my card? I don't do it just to clients. I send it to potential people that I was thinking about listing, farm lists, because the thing is, holiday cards, people actually like them and they display them. Now, that's probably the only time that I've ever used, I mean, I don't want to call them glamour shots, but like pictures on things is my holiday cards. I always have face on there because when people take pictures of like their card displays, I mean, I have some
Mhm.
friends who are like crafty, beyond crafty, and they do really cute stuff. I don't, just so you're clear, like my cards, I don't even know what I do with them. But there are people that do that, and then they'll take a picture, they'll post it up. So really, that's probably the only time in the past that I've ever put my picture on something is to do something like that. Because even if they forgot your name will be on the card. You're going to call to follow up to make sure they received the card, and they see your face. Because people, even if they don't remember your name, will remember your face, right? And these are like my clients that, let's face it, I've had a couple name changes. So there are clients who would be like, oh, I don't know who Lori Baldwin is, right? But if they saw my face, they'd be like, oh, it's Lori.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that's
yeah.
one of the reasons that I always include a picture on holiday cards.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. It's a very good idea. Thank you.
Yup, I have lots and lots of ideas to share. So that's why I love it when people ask me questions, because sometimes I feel like I'm just, saying information that isn't necessarily what you guys are looking for. So when you guys ask questions and I'm actually responding to the questions that you're asking, there's probably 2 other people that have the same question, or just hearing it will spark an idea for them. And that's what, a mastermind is about. That's what talking and sharing and culture and all of that is. We want to build ideas off of each other, get ideas, and share ideas. So thank you for asking. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns? Another thing that I think would be cool kind of for this time of year is to do, maybe organize, if you're farming an area, like a trunk or treat, where it's like safety first, right? Because people are like freaking out that Halloween's going to be canceled, right? So doing something where you take the initiative and you go, hey, what do you guys think about showing up at this parking lot at the school, social distancing, but still being able, the kids can still put on their costumes and do that. Organizing some type of event. Or another thing that I've done in the past is I've done pumpkin patch pictures, where I pay the photographer to take pictures and then email the pumpkin patch pictures to the clients. That's always a really fun one too, because then you can share those pictures, or you can do holiday pictures. In like November, I've done Santa pictures, I've done holiday pictures outdoor, like in a Christmas tree farm. Again, I've got lots of ideas, so just ask. I mean, I'm here for you guys. I want to be a resource. So the cool thing is when you send them digital photos, they can use those for their own holiday cards. And it's a pretty great excuse to call people and say, oh, what day would work best for you for me to schedule photos? And then when you schedule, you call again, all of that stuff. So multiple phone calls, if you guys don't catch that. Being on the phone is very important for real estate. So yeah. Anybody else have anything?
So when the buyer is asking you as a real estate agent, what is better to buy, like a house in Kirkland, or for the same amount of money, an apartment in Seattle? let's say?
Well, okay, so my response, I'm just going to respond to you like I would to a client. My response is always, well, what's going to work best for you? Are you looking for an investment, or is this something you're going to live in? How is your
To live in
lifestyle?
and then sell.
To live in and then sell. Okay, so I would say, again, what's going to work best for your lifestyle? Do you want to have the city lifestyle? Or are you going to be okay with living in the suburbs and going to the city when you do? Because I've had different clients that I would advise differently. When there's someone who's going to be spending, you know, like 90% of their time in the city, that is an issue where you want to make sure that you're not advising them that it's going to be a better investment to move to Kirkland, because when they're living in the property, it's not just an investment. It's not. It is definitely a multiple facet, because there is definitely an issue with that. They need to figure out what is going to work best for them. But there is, of course, the side part of that where they can rent out the house in Kirkland a heck of a lot easier and probably get more for it than renting out a condo in Seattle. So you have to really look at, okay, you're there to provide information to them, but I like to give information and then they make the decision, right? They can choose to move forward with a condo, which, you know, 9 times out of 10 is not going to appreciate as much as a single family residence. Now, if I were looking at this right now, given the state of the world that we live in, there are a lot of businesses that are moving to Bellevue, Kirkland, the East Side. So right now, are things crazy in the East Side real estate market? Yes. So right now, does it look like it would be a much better investment to do a single family in Kirkland? Again, yes, but that can change. The market can change. So you don't want them to be like, oh, you told me to do this, and they feel like you misadvised them. You want to provide them information, share, you know, information about, okay, this is the companies that are moving to this area. These are the schools, you know, all of that information. So
That's what I do.
And that's what you can do, right? We can't say, oh, for sure, Kirkland, you're going to get 10% appreciation a year, because we don't know that. We really don't.
Yep.
So that's what it is. You provide them with information. The choice is theirs. They have to make that choice. We can't make it for them.
Yeah, now this buyer wants to buy a townhouse in Buffalo.
Hey, you know, townhouse in Buffalo, that's kind of, you know, splitting the difference, right? It's not a condo, it's not a single family, it's townhome.
Yep.
That's a great way to split it down the middle. So anybody else have any questions, concerns? Okay, it's
Once
like
we have it, we'll ask you.
Well, Mila, did you have another one? Another question?
Maybe we can have like a virtual one happy hour.
Oh, I'd love it. I was just joking with Pavel today about how everyone that's homeschooling is day drinking, right? And I looked at him, I was like, you know, I haven't gotten there yet, but let me tell you, yesterday at 3 p.m., I literally looked at the clock like, would it be bad if I opened a bottle of wine right now? And that's like the first time I've done that. And I was like, you know, we're not going to have wine if I just had that thought. But yeah, a virtual happy hour, I would love to do that. I think it would be fun that everyone like create like their own cocktail or, you know, drink of choice, and then we can each share about our whatever we're drinking. Like
Let's do it.
yeah. What day works for you guys? Because here's the thing, we're real estate brokers, right? So we don't work 9 to 5. And, you know, Friday night is probably not the best time to have it because let's face it, most of us are showing Saturdays.
I'm
So
booked this Friday.
what day would you guys like to have it?
Maybe Sunday night?
Ooh, I love it. Anybody else good with Sunday? And you guys have to unmute for me to hear you, FYI. Who's good with Sunday night happy hour?
I would be good with Sunday night.
Yay!
I'm
Nicole's
good
coming to
too.
happy hour.
I'm good too. Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I will.
let's make a post.
Oh,
in
for
our
sure.
group.
Mila, do you want to post since it was your idea?
I'm too lazy for that.
Okay. Any word that I would use to describe you, lazy is not the word I would use. That is hilarious. Yeah, I can put the post up today. That's not a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I'm super excited. So I would love to do it this Sunday. Is everyone good with this Sunday?
Guys, I'm not on Facebook. Could you send me a link then just via email or text?
Oh, of course. Thank you for
Thanks.
reminding me that I will send out an email as well.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know, I was feeling boring a little bit like last week, and I decided to just meet new people. So I found one group on Facebook and said like, if you want to meet, let's do it on Monday at 6 p.m. in the Bellevue downtown park. And 30 people showed up.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, and it's a good way to find the leads, you know, or to find the potential buyers or sellers. Just an idea for some new agents.
That is. That's a great idea. Or even organizing something yourself. Like one of the things that is kind of cool is if you'll do like a park meetup and do like I've seen it where there's been people leading yoga. There's been people just organizing like a walk, a meetup. I've seen social distancing, like just bring like a picnic, like any of those things, right? That would be a great way to create a client event without calling it a client event. Just invite people. So, very cool point. All right, anybody else? Because I will tell you, next week we are going to do we're going to start our goal training, which I'm actually really excited about because I love making goals. Because one of my favorite things is when you've made goals and you make them, so you have to keep making new ones. I love that. So I'm going to be leading a goal. Basically, I'm going to do a short version on the sales meeting, and then I'm going to start a coaching goal class that I'll be doing. I'm going to choose the day after next week. And if you guys are interested in being in that, you can shoot me a text or an email and just say, hey, I'm interested in that. So I can kind of start to put together the level of interest and see who wants to be where, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, is just throw ideas out and see what you guys are interested in so that I am providing training and coaching on what you guys actually want training and coaching on. So I'm going to do goals next week on next week's sales meeting. So if anybody has any questions, concerns, definitely you can always call me as usual. But I really am excited that we're starting to get some good attendance on our sales meetings. It makes a difference and it creates more unity and you actually know who people are. So let's say you need someone to show for you. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard you on the sales meeting. It definitely helps to get to know that person. And then when you're talking to your client about the person that's going to show them, you know about them, right? So definitely excited to have you guys all on here and sharing and collaborating. So thank you for taking out, almost an hour of time on Wednesdays to talk with me, get market updates, and discuss what's going on in the real estate market right now. I appreciate all of you, and I'm excited that all of you have chosen to be with Nexus, and hopefully we'll be adding a few new people this week again. We are definitely growing. We did have, we're still at 60 because we lost 2 people that are basically not doing real estate anymore. They did not go to another brokerage. It wasn't anything like that. They're just not doing real estate. So they're taking their license to inactive status until they're able to do real estate. So that's the update on our numbers. If anybody else has questions, comments, concerns, definitely, like I said, feel free to call, text, Facebook, any of that fun stuff. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Bye.
Have a good day.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.